I'm getting some echo. All right, so then you open the course, and then to complete orientation, the video that I'm creating now, that I'm taping now, I will upload and I have it here. And then to have orientation formally completed, you must answer 4 questions, right? There are 4 questions you should answer, and the answers of these questions will come out during this presentation. So, it's just a matter of me being sure that you understand what the criteria are. So once you submit it, you should be fine. But in the first module, remember the course is divided in modules. The first module, I have the syllabus, which is important. I give you information about the book itself. I have some cool things, cool links if you want to make use of it. And this is very important. Tips about final exam. So if you click on this link, and if you remember that I mentioned the final exam, the final exam is face-to-face, and that's going to be the only time we are going to meet formally, and we have to. It's a proctored exam. I have a study guide. You can make use of it. If you go through these links for each of the book chapters we have, you have the so-called diagnostic quiz, and then you can test your understanding of that particular chapter with all kinds of questions in there. So what I would do, I would take questions from this data bank. Of course, I'm not taking the same wordings, I'm kind of playing around, but I will inspire myself for my final exam on this data bank, right? In fact, I'm marking in a random way. And then you have that for all the chapters. See that? All the chapters are there. So let's go back to module. So let's go to our first assessment. By the way, all assessments, they have due dates except for the homework, because homework have due dates, but I will reopen all homework on the week before final week, so that you can review the subject and get prepared for the final exam, and also improve your homework rate. I know it's not a lot, it's 5%, but any extra point is good, and especially if it help you to review the subject. Now, since the first week is kind of a complicated, I might have students adding to the course. I might have some of you dropping. Hopefully not any of you, because you guys are early birds, and usually the early birds are exciting students. Except for the first week of class, all assignments, they close a couple of days after the subject is taught. So except again for the first week, and I'm closing all the subjects, all the homeworks and discussions on June 27. So the first series of extra credits and homework, instead of see, I'm having this problem again. Sorry, this is not. I have to close this in 10 minutes. It's funny. The Zoom .us. I don't understand well this link, and I thought I had a free account. Supposedly I don't, because it keeps charging me all the time. So, but I will be finishing in less than 10 minutes. But the first assessment is closing on June 27. In fact, this is one of the questions that I ask in the orientation. As you can see, you have tons of extra credits. They all have due dates, except again for the first week they close on June 27. And all these extra credits, they are not mandatory, so you don't need to do it. But if you have the time and if you want to kind of test yourself, just go for it. They help you to visualize and to get into the subject we are studying. And then I have questions in there. So some of them come with a video you have to attend, but it's all short. And then you click your answers, and pretty much that's it. So it's a good thing to do. It's not required, but it's a recommended thing. So extra credit, exams, there are 3 exams, 3 midterms, and the way midterms works is like this. See, chapter 5 is June 30th, July 1st. They always cover 2 days. So the midterm is going to be on July 1st. So if you look at midterm number 3, it's going to be in July 22nd. So how does this work? Well, for instance, for midterm number 2, which is July 12, on July 11 at midnight, I open the midterm number 2, and you have 1 hour to do it. And that hour can be selected anytime on July 12, as long as it's before midnight of July 12. So you have 24 hours to complete your quiz, your midterm, or your exam, but you cannot open and then leave and go, brew a coffee or answer the phone and come back, later. If you do, you're gonna get a 0. Which means make sure you are using a reliable computer system and internet is solid. You can do at Evergreen, you can do in a public library, or you can just make sure the computer is firm. So what I do is I give you a second shot at the midterms, usually a couple of days after. You're not going to get the same questions, but it's a second shot, and I select the highest score of both attempts. So that's the midterm. So we have 3 midterms, and on a few days before the final exam, I have a makeup exam. Look at that, makeup exam. So the makeup exam is not mandatory, but what I do is, even if you miss one of the midterms and you miss it again, and believe it or not, some students do that, I have a makeup exam available, which is comprehensive and is open to the entire class. And the deal is, you do it, and if your grade on this makeup is bigger than the lowest score in any of your previous midterms, I swap. So it's a good thing to do. And besides, since it's comprehensive, it helps you to get prepared for your final exam, which is also comprehensive. Okay. In discussions, that's the last thing I would like to talk about it. So the ASTRO discussion is, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they run once per week, basically, right? So the first discussion is closing on June 27, and then you have another one that closes on July 5th. They always close on Monday, as you can see, except on July 4th is Monday, right? But it's the holiday, so I don't want you to dealing with discussion. But these discussions are based on something like this. So I put some information, I have a video you have to watch. They are all short, it's not a 2 hours movie you have to attend. And then I have a question to ask, and then you reply to that question, giving your opinion. And then what I do, I based on your opinion, which should be short, I will give you a grade on it. And then you kind of check your grade, see if you like it. The grade can be from 0 to 10. 10 is the highest score, 0 is the lowest. And then you can post it again. You can improve what you said, and then you can do a little bit more research and get to know more about the subject and discuss more. So the more you post, the more technical and elaborate your answer is, better chances you have to get a highest score. So that's how it goes. I do recommend that in all discussions you start as early as possible. So I know it's closed on Monday, so I would recommend you start on Tuesday, the previous week, so that every day I would check, see what is in there, give a grade, and put my opinion, and try to talk with you directly, and then you can post it again, and then from there we grow as a group. So the main point is to make you feel not so much isolated as doing some work independent from the rest of the class. um, and and I mean it gets a sense of family. I mean online courses can make you too kind of isolated, like the universe is there, I'm here, and I'm not connected with that. um, and these discussions are important, so try to be part of it, and the more you work on it, the better. I would think. So discussions are 10% of your course grade. There are not a lot. There are 5 of them, one per week, and some of them have, like the first one. The first one have kind of a direct questions. So, like here, I have a bunch of things, and then you have to organize them by size. So it's kind of a direct, right? So either you get it right or not. But some others are more a test on your understanding and critical thinking about some particular subject. And I guess that's it. That's all she wrote. So do you have any question? Are you all good with the course?
Orientation, the mandatory orientation questions.
Uh, I was crossing my fingers that no one would ask this question. Let me show you one thing. So if you go here, you find your orientation mandatory, right? And then you have the mandatory questions in here. And if I click preview as a professor, I can see the questions, right? But look at this. If I do the same thing as a student, and I will now change the view to be a student. Can you see that? Can you see my course? Can you see my course?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's say that's you, right? So you open there, Evergreen Valley, you skip this video, you don't need that, you go here, and then you go to your mandatory orientation, complete one item, because you have to do that before you see everything else. Click on it, click orientation, and then you can see the video, right? You spend time, and then you see exactly what we are doing now. This is fake. I have to replace that. And then you go to the questions, and then the questions are not there, right? There is no way the questions appear, and this is a bug. This is a glitch in the system. And I already um, so I don't know exactly what um, this is being investigated. So the Canvas people is trying to fix that. So all the quizzes and homeworks students can't see it as of now, but I hope by Monday all of that's going to be resolved. That's the only issue I have in this course right now. Does that answer your question? Is that okay? Well, I can see that Zoom.us cut me out. So I apologize for that, but I'm taping this orientation, so I hope to have that saved, and I will upload that in Canvas. All right, so good night, everyone.